This is The Download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news of the business of podcasting. Brought to you by Spreaker from iHeart. I'm Tom Webster. Here's what you need to know for today, Wednesday, January 31st. From the IAB, the free and open ad-supported internet. This week, the IAB published a new study built from surveying 1,500 consumers for their thoughts, preferences, and concerns about their personal data and digital advertising. 80% of respondents agree a free and open internet is important to democracy and free speech. When asked how much they'd have to be paid annually to not use the internet, the average response was $37,619. Although the younger the demographic, the more they'd need. Gen Z won't take a penny under $54K. That said, if currently free websites and internet services were to suddenly cost money, the most the average respondent would pay per month is $164. 80% of respondents agree with the sentiment that websites and apps are free because of advertising. From Signal Hill Insights, the Brand Podcast Summit keeps the focus on the audience, and this from friend of the podcast, Jeff Vidler. Over 1,400 CMOs, content marketers, and podcast producers registered for Lower Street's first Brand Podcast Virtual Summit on January 24th. The audience of a branded podcast remained a common discussion thread throughout all sessions. Roy Sexton, director of marketing at Clark Hill Law, stressed a branded podcast has to bring in a lead, awareness, or audience growth and not just stroke a brand's ego. Lower Street's Shannon Martin urged brands to not overlook in-house evangelists who might have vital feedback to shape a podcast for its audience, including those vital brand fans who we covered in a report at Sounds Profitable just last year. From Digiday, in rocky digital advertising landscape, advertisers reconsider direct mail. With the third-party cookie crumbling, I'll stop there for applause. Advertisers are looking for alternatives that would get close to third-party data's hyper-targeting capabilities. With the increased costs and challenges that come with the strengthened digital privacy regulations, direct mail advertising is becoming more feasible of a strategy with its 1 to 5% conversion rate, according to Villa Winterberry's group's annual U.S. spending report, which also predicts that direct mail will make $38.2 billion in offline marketing spend this year. With the reevaluation of first-party data, mailing lists are also expected to become easier to manage. While direct mail is a perfectly viable option, it's worth noting that podcasting is a haven of first-party data and targeting capabilities, all without buying a single stamp. And from Digiday Plus, some research, publishers held on to their staff and titles last year, even as traffic fell. A Digiday survey of over 300 publisher professionals found that publishing saw a significant drop-off in traffic last year, with 51% agreeing with that sentiment. 31% said their traffic increased last year, a reversal from 2022, when 46% of respondents reported traffic increase and 36% saw a decrease. While traffic was largely down, staffs remained largely the same. 40% of surveyed publisher professionals told Digiday that as of last quarter of last year, their company's full-time staff had neither increased nor decreased since the start of the year, and math tells me that means it stayed the same. 34% said their staff decreased in size, while 26% reported their staff grew throughout the year. While 2023 was not a perfect year, it's worth celebrating the corners of advertising that weathered all of that uncertainty. And for the rest of the news, SXM Media signs a $100 million 3-year exclusivity deal with Smartless. Acast's Megan Davies talks about AI's role in podcasting. And Triton Digital's Sharon Taylor has published predictions for podcasting's 2024 from 9 industry leaders. And all of those links are in the show notes. Be sure to check out the links to every article mentioned right in your podcast listening app or at soundsprofitable.com, where you can also subscribe to the newsletter version. The Download is written and produced by Brian Barletta, Gavin Gaddis, and me. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Tom Webster. Download us again tomorrow.